Okay, so we have managed to add our first box to our column layout, and we are ready to add the second one. Alright, so to create a new box, I'm going to select this section and I'm going to copy and paste it into a new box, like this. I'm also going to change the color of the container to red, and if I hot reload, I can see that now the second box has appeared as well. Alright, so maybe let's take this step one step further and maybe create a third box, which maybe I can color with the color purple. And if I hot reload, here it is. So it looks like we have now managed to build a vertical layout, which was our original goal. So with the code that we have over here, we can add boxes, set their color, and also set their height. One thing that we can see over here is that the body of our scaffold is getting bigger and bigger. And really I think it would be a good idea here to extract all of this code into a separate method. So what we are going to do now is to move all this code to a new method, and I'm going to show you how to do this with a couple of tricks. So the first one is going to be about code selection. So here, for example, I could just place my cursor on this sized box, and then I'm going to press Alt plus up arrow multiple times, and I can do this to extend the selection of the enclosing scope. So I can carry on and do this until I reach the body of my scaffold, which is over here. Then I'm going to use a new command which is called extract to method, and in my system I've mapped this to Alt Command M. So when I press that, I get a little dialog which asks me to choose a method name. So I'm going to call this build content. And when I press enter, what happens is that all the code that I had selected has now been placed into a new method called build content, and this method is now called from within the body of my scaffold. As you can see, the build method of our sign-in page is now much more readable, and it's easier to see that it just creates a scaffold with an up bar, and then the body is now specified with this new build content method over here. We can see that Android Studio has defined this method with a return type of container, and this is because a container is the root widget of this entire block of code. In the future, I might decide that rather than returning a container, I might return some other kind of widget, and for this reason I'm just going to change the return type to be a widget, like this. Now this is safe to do for two reasons. One is that a container is actually a subclass of widget, so I can change the return type to be a widget. And the other one is that the body of my scaffold actually requires a widget, nothing more specific than that. So very often when I extract arbitrary widget hierarchies, such as this one, I will take care of setting the return value of the extracted method to widget. Okay, so we now have this new method for building the content of our page. However, there is one small change that I still want to add to this method, and I'll do that in the next video.